Hi, my name is Zach and I'm the CEO of DLC Link. We're the recipient of a partner level grant, which is one of the largest grants ever issued by the Stax Foundation. This grant funds our community focused work. Separately, we're also part of the Stax Accelerator that is helping us build out our commercial business. Our overarching goal is to build a bridge to smart contracts on Bitcoin. Currently, Stax can read Bitcoin state, but cannot write to Bitcoin or settle in Bitcoin. Discrete log contracts are technology that can be used as an escrow contract that lets apps lock and unlock Bitcoin based on Clarity program output. We're also building a decentralized Oracle network that will be run by independent node operators to ensure that the outcomes are handled in a fully decentralized and non-custodial manner. To start, we're piloting a project with Arcadico that will let users lock Bitcoin and mint the stablecoin, call it USDB. The user can use that USDB within Arcadico's network. The user can also burn USDB to release the Bitcoin. For first-time grantees, I'd recommend setting your targets high. What are the main challenges or blockers in the Stax ecosystem? What do you wish existed today but didn't? And how big is the impact of that? A lot of technology being built right now can address massive pain points in the market. It's best to start with the customer in mind and drive the market opportunity from there. Remember that the goal of building a software company isn't to build cool tech, but instead to solve pain points out in the world and to make the world a better place. Unlike our commercial business, all of our grant-funded work will be open source. In fact, we're organizing a hackathon on June 22nd in conjunction with the Stax Pre-Accelerator run by Albert Liang. Over 30 teams will be there, and you'll have the opportunity to play with DLCs and fork our code. We'd love to see you there. To get on the list, please reach out to albert@stax.ac. Thank you.
Hi there, this is Pseudo Zach, and I was asked to say a few words about the grant program and some tips for first-time grantees. So I guess I'll start with saying that you should really sort of try to find some gaps in the developer tooling or some opportunities that you can sort of work towards that people ask you about. Like if you go to developer channels on Discord or just sort of, on Twitter, you can reach out to them, talk to them, and they'll complain to you about things that they wish existed, and that would make their lives easier. But maybe it's not their core functionality or their core interests, so they don't have time or resources to do it. So I think that's a great place to start, where you can sort of identify those gaps and try to fulfill them, and you can do it with the grant programs. Support, right? And you can do it in the open, which is very important. I think it's very crucial for the whole ecosystem, is that we need to do these open source and out in the open. So we're open to feedback, and everything is audited and everything's available. And that's why I have this background here, and you can see sort of where my first grant approval is this part, where the first grant is approved, and then all my open source contributions skyrocket, which I'm very proud of. And it does lead to great things. For example, I've built a lens swap with the grants, and it's, a lot of people use it, a lot of people find it useful. And we made it, so we actually made it part of Trust Machines, which means, I got a job out of it, and I'm very proud to join the Trust Machines team and continue work on a lens swap and make it better and make it more useful overall. And similarly, for example, now I'm continuing actually with the grants. We have another small grant to integrate the LNSwap API and atomic swaps into the Hero wallets, right? So we're working on that. And we have another upcoming, hopefully, a new grant that's one more ambitious grant with the really talented people at Valera and TrueBit to actually have a great sort of open source and very capable wallet. Right, so the grants program is a great opportunity, and I enjoyed it amazingly, and it led to great things, and I wish the same for everyone. So, thank you.
AJ IMBC. You can call me AJ for short. And the name of my grant is Starlet, a decentralized mobile application for non-crypto savvy users. The work I'm focused on is building and designing Starlet. Starlet is an all-in-one decentralized mobile application built on Stax blockchain and ecosystem for day-to-day crypto and blockchain activities such as DeFi, cross-chain exchange, GameFi, and Metaverse, with focus on non-savvy crypto users. So the main essence is to help onboard non-savvy crypto users so that they can easily get into the space using the same Web 2 processes. The grant has been so helpful. Thanks to Stax Foundation for supporting this project. Now I have enough time to work on this project, to carry out my research, to look for possible solutions to solve this, to simplify the Web3 space for non-crypto savvy users, how they can easily get on board. And I can say it's an amazing thing, and it's one of the best things that's happened to me. I look forward to delivering the best with this grant. The importance of open source tech within the Stax and Bitcoin community are numerous. One of the most important things is it helps people build on the blockchain. So when there are so many open source projects from design to development available for people to build or work on, it makes it easy for people to build new ideas that would solve new problems, that will make doing things on the blockchain easier. So I feel open source are the way to go, and they are very much needed in a community to help scale and build or improve the Stax and Bitcoin blockchain.
Three devs here. Wanted to show you a couple of our projects that we're working on as builders. On the left-hand side, you'll see that we have completed our root payments, our payment gateway for Stax and Citycoin. We put up a simple website at rootpayments.com. You can take a look at it. There's some upcoming things to look. More importantly, in the web developers section, you'll see all of the API calls that you need. So all the geeks will naturally go there. If you're not a geek and you're wondering what this project is about, here's the use case. Basically, we wanted to have a shopping cart plugin so that merchants could be able to sell merchandise for city coins, Miami coin at a time. So what you're looking at here is basically a WooCommerce site that will give people the option of being able to add things to the cart, checkout, and then during the checkout they can select the root payments. They'll get basically a QR code where they can use their mobile wallet to check out, and or their mobile, their desktop to check out. It'll get automatically written in the micro block after the confirmation, and then it'll give you a status coming up. The really cool thing about this is we use a smart contract to be able to accomplish this, to overcome the fear of merchants having of sending or receiving too much or too little crypto, and then being able to return it through a refund process directly into the shopping cart. The other thing that the shopping cart automatically allows the merchant to do is use it as it was built. So there's nothing new to use. You just use WooCommerce or the other shopping cart however they usually use it, and all they have to do is be able to accept Citycoin or Stax as payments. In order to do that, they basically have to register for an account. They'll go into integrations and add an integration. They have the ability to do multiple shopping carts with multiple integrations. They also have the ability to do orders, create orders manually, and future things that we'll have in this is mass pay, payroll, and other things that a traditional gateway setup will have. Thank you for looking at that. On the right-hand side, there's another that we're doing. It's called Stax Access, which is a really fun project. It's basically allowing NFT users to see original content that is only allowed to be seen if you actually own that NFT. So as an example here on the right-hand side, you'll see about Stax Access. These are podcasts that only NFT users can listen to. So if I click on the episodes, I'm going to choose a wallet that doesn't actually have an NFT, and you can see basically what will happen. It'll notice that I don't have the NFT and send me to a different page that gives me information about how to get the NFT so that I can see those episodes. The other project that we've been working on is with a project called Catamaran, and you might notice it on the top right hand corner. We're redoing the UI and UX for it, going from this, and we have two designers that are basically battling out on which design is going to be better, with a better flow in both this particular style and then also a style much like this. So that's a sneak peek. We should have that delivered in the next few weeks. Thank you so much and have a great day.
My name is Jacob, and this is Songs to Radio. Songs to Radio is a music-specific NFT marketplace on the Stax blockchain secured by Bitcoin. Songs to Radio's mission is to decentralize the music industry by leveraging blockchain technology, and our vision is clear. to secure the best record label deal possible for musicians. When you get to the application itself, you'll see the NFT marketplace. This is where NFTs will be listed for sale, and you can list your NFTs for sale there too. Or you'll be able to see the NFT collection page, which is where NFTs will live that are ready to be minted. In your profile, you'll be able to upload a profile picture there. You'll be able to display your balance of stacks and your NFTs that you own. Another thing you can do is under the settings, you can update your socials, and this is where you would change your profile picture there. Without the support of the Stax Foundation, we would not be where we are today. We attribute all the successes to the support of the Stax Foundation. They have been so gracious to support this project, and they continue to do so. One piece of advice that I would give to future grantees is to communicate to the Stax Grants ambassadors, whether you have shortcomings, whether you have challenges, and even your successes. If you do that and communicate, you will always be successful in the long run. The ambassadors are there to help you. They're there to support you, and they have done so for Songs to Radio and many other grants applicants as well. So with that, I hope you like the Songs to Radio NFT marketplace, and we are going to bring you a ton more value, and we look forward to supporting projects that are up and coming from the Stax Foundation grants program as well. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Chada here from the Whitelabel team to give an update on our Stax Residency. Our end goal is to scale the content and number of students learning Clarity and to deliver a deeper understanding of the language. By August, we will have launched and/or completed at least 7 cohorts of various formats. We'll have a 3rd instructor fully onboarded and prepared to teach. We will write a contract to issue completion NFTs, and we'll begin to add quizzes and code challenges to the Code Academy course. By the end of the year, we'll create pre-work to ensure students beginning the camps are prepared to begin writing and testing smart contracts. We'll initiate a community-driven Clarity knowledge base similar to Stack Overflow to further assist new developers, and we'll have identified a 4th instructor to complete the Clarity Ed team. So far, we've completed all pre-recorded Clarity training sessions. We've created syllabi for a 2-week crash course and 2-day workshop formats, in addition to the 6-week Clarity camp. We've successfully launched and are currently delivering the Miami Coin Web3 camp in partnership with Miami-Dade College, Venture Miami, and CityCoins. We've onboarded and are currently training Daniel as a 3rd Clarity camp instructor. As a bonus, he is based in Austin, so he will be a local contact for the Austin Stax chapter. We've outlined a calendar for the next 3 months, which includes 2 workshops at NFT NYC in June, 2 consecutive 6-week Clarity camps, at least 1 2-week crash course, and a 2nd Miami camp, all starting in July. And we've started coordinating with the ecosystem on future camps. Some of the partners that we've spoken to include Hero, the Stax chapters, Stax Founders Lab Pre-Accelerator, and CityCoins. If you're interested in getting in contact with us or following for updates on what we're doing, Akanksha and I are both on Twitter and Discord, or you can contact us through email.
Marvin, working on the Clarity Lab with Mike to push the boundaries of Clarity and smart contracts on Stax. This is the first residency update. The 3 pillars of the lab are research, development, and publishing. The goal is to produce reference implementations, SIPs, other kinds of implementations, and all sorts of other kinds of different documentation, including articles. So our goal is to deliver Clarity work relevant to emerging trends in the ecosystems. We have a few ongoing side activities, and you can see a few listed here. But our main project is to figure out a way to bring non-custodial wrapped Bitcoin to Stax, or NBTC for short. We expect to have a draft published within the first 3 months and deliver a working prototype, if the research checks out, of course, by month 6. As some of you might have already heard, we have a little bit of a different approach that we're experimenting with and working on. So far, we have delivered on clarity validation contracts for Redstone Oracle messages. Developers will be able to build better Oracle-based applications with Redstone. We also brought the SIP13 semi-fungible token standard into accepted status. So that means that we're very close to getting this ratified. These are like the ERC 1155 counterpart to Stax, for those of you that have heard of the Ethereum standard. And then we also have the SIP18 signed structured data, which is now officially supported by Hero Wallet. So this was recently released, which is very exciting. So even though the standard has not yet been accepted, it has already seen some adoption across different projects and different teams. If you're interested in engaging with us, please reach out. We welcome collaboration in any form. The best way to find us is on the official Stax Discord in the Clarity Lab channel. So we hope to see you there, and thank you very much.
Hi all, I'm Mike. I'm working with Marvin at the Clarity Lab. We're working on pushing the frontiers of clarity in all directions, with a focus on research, development, and publishing. Over the past month or so, I've been looking at SIP13 in particular, building an example marketplace contract for semi-fungible tokens using SIP13, which you can find on GitHub here. I've also written a blog post to help explain this work, and they should be published very soon. Another piece of work I've started with is looking at the executor DAO and basically creating a basis of unit tests, clarinet tests for the DAO as the basis for moving forward with that project. Goals over the next 3 months or so, firstly to help, where possible, build a working demo for NBTC, which Marvin has discussed. I'd also like to get involved in exploring hyperchains and help in any way that the lab can contribute to building clarity to help to move SIP 9, 10 and 13 assets between chains. And finally, I'd like to carry on the work with the executor DAO. We're already exploring delegate voting and liquid democracy and adding these as new voting mechanisms to the DAO. I'll be continuing to work on this and prototyping on testnet over the next 2 to 3 months. As Marvin said, we're actively looking to collaborate and get people involved from the community, involving developers, testers, people generally. So yeah, if this is of interest to you, please feel free to reach out. There's lots of opportunities to work collaboratively. Look forward to seeing you here, and thanks for listening.
Morning, my name is Dan Trevino. I work on the Boom project. My residence is focused on boomboxes, the boombox protocol, smart contracts, and then the tooling that goes around those, with the goal of making those more accessible so that the creators, projects, whoever can kind of create their own custom boomboxes and manage them properly. There's a lot of moving parts in there. So that being said, I'm going to show you some things that we're working on kind of short term, and then kind of medium term to kind of build those things out, and some things that are semi-unrelated. So the first thing is, as I mentioned, Blockstack developer. There's a tool called NoteRiot that I built early in the Blockstack days. It's a privacy-focused note-taking application. Everything's fully encrypted. It uses your Gaia hub. NoteRiot has been languishing, hasn't been updated for the current authentication. So I'm in the process, short term, of building out, updating the tooling, updating the dependencies, updating the framework, so that current users can continue to use NoteRiot. It's a very simple note-taking tool with Markdown support. What you see is what you get support, and simple filtering by tags or colors. That's what I'm working on short term. Medium term, Boom Builder Studio is the creative tools kind of split out from the current Boom.money. So currently we have very simple mint mechanism. In Boom Builder, we've got kind of more complex mechanisms built in. So we've got single NFT support, custom boombox support, collection support, And then we have an interface to kind of manage your boom boxes as we kind of get those out there for people. And then I'm going to show you the wallet here. So this doesn't really work really well with this little big old circle in my face here, but I can't show you this on device because too much glare, but this is running on my device currently. This is the Boom wallet split out from Boom Creator Tools, fully mobile, running on Android currently. We'll be testing iOS soon and working on this also in the medium term. So that's all. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm in the Boom Discord. You can link from boom.money. I'm also in the Stax Discord. I'm Dante symbol Boom in the Stax Discord. Feel free to reach out if you would like to help out. We could certainly use the help. Or if you have questions, want to talk about Gaia, privacy, security, whatever. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Friedger. I don't really have a good camera, but here's a picture. That's me. I have a background in math and did a PhD in computer science. I learned about the possibility to register a human readable name for my Bitcoin address. It was interesting, and that was the start of my Stax story. And now I'm here, identity advocate at the Stax Foundation, and I want to be a point of contact, everything related to identity and public profiles, digital profiles. When I talk about profiles, I'm not talking about the identity that is provided by the government, but about identities and profiles that are created by the users. So we're really talking about user-owned internet. And profiles are used in applications to recognize your own address or your account, and also to recognize a friend's account. And we have also the usernames, the blockchain name system. So there you have profiles, but it should also work if you don't have a username. If we look at the existing profiles now, today that we have, for example, in the Hero wallet, there we just have account 1, account 2. There's nothing that helps you to recognize your address other than some colors and a number or letter. If you look at Jammer, the NFT marketplace, there you have images, and that helps a bit, but it's only restricted to Jammer. And for example, in HeyLayer, you have lots of text but no images. For app developers, it's not clear how you create a profile, how users can edit a profile, and for what formats should be used. I will publish my work on Cycle under the username web3.id. And the first project is Stax Profile that exists already in proof of concept, where you can see all the different profiles that the user have. And the next blog post will explain a bit what you can see there. So I'm happy to answer any questions after the show, or feel free to contact me on Twitter, Mastodon, or Discord. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I am Ileana, the NFT resident here at Stax. My goal is to help educate, onboard, and support artists, creators, and brands on their journey to creating NFTs here on Stax. My residency started at the beginning of February and will be for 1 year. So a quick overview of what I set out to achieve. First of all, launching the Mintery, creating an NFT kit for artists, helping to onboard new artists to Stax in general, and also putting on one NFT event. So first of all, kicking off with the Mintery, and for those of you that don't know what the Mintery is, it is a 30-day program designed to give artists everything they need in order to launch a successful NFT collection. As we had over 200 applications and 10 slots, we created a light version at first to make sure that anyone that applied could actually have access to any of the recordings and our notes. Additionally, they were able to book one-to-one sessions with myself. After the cohort ended, I created the Mintree Playbook, which essentially puts together all of those sessions to provide a how-to guide for artists. In this guide, you can also find featured different Stax NFT projects and perks for those who decide to mint their collections on Stax. This will actually be coming out at the beginning of June. Touching briefly on the event side, I collaborated with Ileana to create the Her NFT event for International Women's Day. This featured over 35 different artists and also onboarded new artists to Stax as well. That takes us to Q2, where we are now and what I'm up to. First of all, I've been working on putting together the NFT Worldwide series of events, which actually kicks off today here in Amsterdam. We've partnered up with Soho House to put on an event to help educate, inspire, and connect artists and brands. You can find NFT galleries, a fireside chat between top artists and brands, including Tesla, talking about the different ways NFTs can be leveraged for both artists and brands, alongside a few little surprises to show the different ways that NFTs can be used. Moving to the Mintree, I'll continue to support the cohort 1 artists as they prepare to mint, whilst opening the applications for the second cohort. This cohort will begin in August, so in the meantime, I'll be working on refining the program to provide an even better experience for the second round of artists. And that takes us over to Q3 and 4. The second Mintree cohort will kick off in August, and we aim to have a final cohort before the end of the year. I will host a second NFT worldwide event. And lastly, I want to focus on researching into social tokens to see if we can add an additional section to the Mintree Playbook to target alternative types of creators and influencers. Thanks so much for your time. If you have any questions or want to reach out, feel free to drop me an email, and you can also find my Twitter and Discord details below.
Hey everybody, MattySTX here, helping teams with their tokenomics. One thing I've noticed in speaking to a number of teams is that there is just a tremendous variety of the number of questions, not the number of questions, but the type of questions. Everything ranging from more open questions about utility and game theory and incentive structures, down to the nitty-gritty details of what should the vesting schedule be like, what should the emissions and allocation percentages be. And so I'm compiling a document that I'm calling Tokenomics for Builders to be a one-stop shop guide to answering all of those questions, at least pointing people in the right direction and getting them started. Right now it's just a skeleton. So I've just been researching and putting together, the basics. So we have an introduction into tokenomics, top mistakes I see builders make, the legal regulatory factors to consider, supply side factors, demand side factors, balancing those, something I'm calling the Tokenomics Incentives Canvas, which I'll touch on in a second, and some other resources. So just to briefly touch on the Tokenomics Incentives Canvas, that's another tool that I've created. Basically, I saw that there was a lack of a framework to help teams think through the more open-ended questions around, aligning incentive structures, designing the right game theory for their tokenomics that would ultimately translate into, positive reinforcing growth loops and avoid UST type of debacles. So the Tokenomics Incentive Canvas, I've created a simple governance token example that I can walk through people on a different time, but basically it's just a way of helping teams explicitly state what they want, identify the mechanisms that they need to incorporate in their tokenomics, and resolve conflicts that inevitably arise between those mechanisms, which avoids, making some inopportune design choices. I'm also running a poll right now, this very moment, on Twitter. You can go and vote, please do, trying to understand, your opinion of how best I can, from a tokenomics lens, help the ecosystem. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Haz. I've been a dev for 5 years now and the Stax builder since 2020, and I am a part of the Stax Governance Lab, We're a group of Stax residents who are working on building bottom-up governance systems that aim to give the community more access to Stax Commons. Commons is just a fancy word uh, uh, that means resources, money, skills, and knowledge in the Stax ecosystem.
Right now, and for the duration of the next 3 months, we will be working on what we call journeys. This is our way of supporting Stax community builders, um, and is similar to grants, but it aims to support small builders in their journey to become bigger contributors in the ecosystem through the Advocates program. There's more. There's more to this as well. So be sure to join our weekly calls Mondays 4 p.m. EST in the Stax Discord server.
One example of the work that we've completed so far is the consensus flow. This is where advocates, Stax community advocates can come together around an issue um, that they're that they need to resolve. One example of this is when we switched our reward distribution to XBDC, where we all came together and created this comprehensive proposal with a tutorial on how to swap XBDC to STX. Another thing that we've been working on is this bot we call Destacular that enables you to create what we call micro DAOs. These are small team DAOs that aim to help small builders pay themselves and outside um, contributors. The last example, and this is more informal, is journeys. As I've been talking about, this particular journey, the Brazil Pizza Day journey, has already been a success. This is more informal. It's based on trust, and it helps people that are passionate about stacks actually pursue their passions. To get in touch, don't hesitate to go to Start Here and add roles and this magnifying glass right here. And then just connect with us in open discussion. You can mention me at hz.bdc or Harold.
Robin and Fritz, we are working on Gaia to deploy Gaia version 2 and allow people to decentralize information with Gaia. Let me quickly introduce you, Robin.
Hello, my name's Robin, and I will quickly guide you through our roadmap of the residency. So for the 3 months, we are planning to update the entire code that has been out for Gaia. On top of that, also updating the existing documentation and writing a white paper for Gaia, because there's a lot of misconceptions for Gaia and we want to clear things up so people really know what's Gaia about and what it's not about. And for the 9 to 12 months, we plan to implement a data migration from one Gaia hub to another one, and also the additional driver support. For now, we've chosen IPFS, but since we want to involve the community in every step, those are subjects to change for the further progress of the residency, because we will definitely change some things once we interviewed several people from the community. And on top of tokenizing the user data, we also plan to add additional driver support. And eventually release Gaia version 2. And now that has been the roadmap, and now Fritz will quickly update you what he has done so far.
My name is Fritz. I investigated dependencies in AP and Fungible Gaia, and I set up the Gaia locally, and I created the development environment, and also I upgraded the duplicated and old packages used for Gaia, and I deployed the Gaia project on AWS platform.
All the packages was deployed in the last week and a half. So if you want to connect with us, those are our Discord, and we will answer more questions during the Ask Me Anything. Thank you so much for the attention.
Hi, my name is Drew Falkman, and I want to talk to you about our residency program on building Stax Community Middle Layer. So the goals of our residence program really was to solve the problem of helping communities grow in Stax. So to do this, we wanted to discover what communities need and build some tooling. And out of this, we had great user research data. We built the Layer C wallet connector that connects the Hero wallet to the Discord. And then we also did the DAO working group. So from our user research, we got some good research on privacy, as well as finding a lot of things, specifically that people are frustrated with the tools that exist. The Layer C bot enabled this connection with the Hero wallet. So now you can connect your Discord, enables things like whitelisting, token gating, and more. And then in the DAO working group, we were together with a bunch of DAO members and creators, as well as tool builders like the founders of Stacker DAO Labs and Console DAO, to really define what DAOs are, who the people were, and what their needs might be. For us, all this research ended up becoming Friends, which is a Web3 growth platform, and we're currently in the Stax Accelerator. So we found that there's a community cycle where you identify your influencers, you incentivize them, they engage, and they are then rewarded, and this creates the network effect. So we're creating connectors that connect to all the key things that communities use in Web3, and then we can use those tools to encourage growth using that same cycle. So that's where we are. I encourage you to reach out. I love talking about DAOs and Web3 community. This has been an invaluable experience for me, and I thank the Stax Foundation a lot for giving me the residence program. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Puji or MPJBTC. I'm the chapter lead of Stax Indonesia. I'm here with my partner Irma. I run this chapter because I'm very inspired with how Stax community very welcoming to us far from California, far from like the US, and it's been very amazing to join the community. It's very welcoming and open, and we are focusing on the crypto education for the end user as well as for the developers. And we want to do this because we believe that there is a lot of potential in this, the most populous country, yet the most amazing country in Southeast Asia. And I'm very excited to go together to build together with Stax in this chapter. Okay, so for the next 3 to 6 months, we will be focusing on our very first developer bootcamp in collaboration with Remote Skills Academy. It is one of our closest partners in Bali. And it is basically a bootcamp for clarity, solidity, and also all around dApp or decentralized applications. And we also want to focusing on the education content, including translation, blog posts, videos, all about Stax and Bitcoin. And after this, you want to leverage all the content, all the hard work that we do in the first 3 to 6 months to build our community very strong, because we want to like organize our community to be much efficient. And then our focus for the next 6 months is basically to run a program called Bitcoin Bali, where we want to invite all the speakers, all the community here from all around the world to Bali, to Indonesia, and we want to bring this energy from Indonesia. And lastly, we have more than 250 community members. We have already translated all the documentation for Stax developers. And if you want to learn more about us, you can visit Linktree Stax Indonesia. Thank you.
Hi guys, many of you know me already, but for those who don't, I am Shine from Stax Turkey chapter. I'm the one of the leader of Stax Turkish community with Ömür. Ömür was hired by a global exchange recently, but I want to thank him for the experience and success he developed while working in Stax Turkey. So you can take him as a living of example, skills benefit that working with Stax will bring you in a short or mid term. Ömür is a veteran community member now, and I want to thank him for all his efforts because we built Stax Turkey community together. Currently, I and Orkut will do our best to keep Stax Turkey on top of its game. He's my new partner who is strongly experienced in a business development and branding processes, so he will help us to expand our vision projects into our region in our second term. During our first term, STX token was not listed any local exchange, so we started with a serious disadvantage. But we found ways to make STX accessible for the majority of Turkish people in a matter of months. We created all necessary direct connections, used social media channels, reached the right people and influencers to generate our investor community base. We also visited all major universities and their blockchain clubs, co-hosted workshops with our local partners like Chainlink, and bring industry leaders on private networking events. After almost a year later, we are listed on all major exchanges in Turkey, and we have one of the strongest community in Stax network. On a Stax side, I must say that we are so excited about Hyperchain, and we are focusing on create a Web3 builders community to introduce Stax network unmatched benefits such as grant program, Stax Accelerator, Stax Founders Lab to the founders and teams in our region. Our new goal is contributing to the Stax ecosystem growth potential through generating a strong projects and businesses by using the power of the community. We will also continue to keep our community alive. You can always reach us from the Stax Turkey Telegram group, by Twitter DMs, or through staxturkey.com. We love you all. Cheers.
Greetings from Austin, Texas. This is Don John Blaze, or PurpleSoy22 on Twitter, and I am one of the 3 co-founders of the Austin Stax chapter called Keep STX Weird. My other 2 co-founders are my lovely wife, Grandma Escher, and Brian.stx. Our goal as a chapter is honestly to just build a local grassroots organization of people that love Stax and want to keep Austin weird through business, through food and art and crypto, and really just local initiatives that help bolster the little guy. We care about making our community a better place to live, and we're doing that starting off with regular meetups. We've had 2 meetups so far. Our first one pulled about 20 attendees. Our second one had 25 to 30. And we're meeting again on June 2nd at the Brutorium, downtown Austin at 7 p.m. We'd love to see you there. And in addition, upcoming, we've got our big meetup at Consensus. We're going to have an official Stax chapter meetup around the Consensus event. We're also hosting a Clarity Bootcamp and a hackathon at Pershing during Consensus. So if you're a developer and you know Clarity, or you want to know more about Clarity, or you just want to sharpen those skills a little bit, come join us at Consensus. We'd love to have you be a part. And even moving forward as a chapter, we're planning on highlighting being involved with students and people who want to learn to build on Clarity. And so that's going to be something that we focus on a lot moving forward. So if any of that sounds cool to you, we would love to sync up with you. Hit us up on Twitter at KeepSTXWeird. And there on Twitter, you can see a hyperlink that includes the link for our social media as well as Discord, which is where a lot of our announcements go down. So hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Discord, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all you people at Consensus. Peace out.
Hello, this is Jian Zhang from Stax Korea. Here's my short intro. Stax Korea is mainly focusing on expanding Stax network users, not just Stax holders, through content localization and community education. Currently, we are operating various channels according to the needs of the community, and we have a community size of about 5,000 or more. We have been involved in various activities over the past year. Basically, we focus on promoting and educating the public about the Stax ecosystem. In addition to that, by leading local partnerships, we are preparing an infrastructure that will benefit the real ecosystem in addition to increasing the utility of the Stax token. We also work with community developers to create tools like NFP Studio based on community needs. It provides simple stacking service, Stax-based project overview, and account dashboard. In addition to that, we are helping to accelerate the DeFi, NFT, and Web3 projects of the Stax ecosystem, and also this spread is participating in Bitcoin Odyssey to help the larger ecosystem and Bitcoin. Our next plan is in the short term. We plan to educate the community for the upcoming Stax 2.1 and Hyperchain upgrades. In the long term, we want to create a community for Clarity and Bitcoin developers. We also plan to hold offline events in third or fourth quarters, and we also plan to introduce our upcoming Stax-based project to the community and help them get started. We are working to build a user-owned internet on top of Bitcoin. Please join us on our journey. Thank you.